of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion. I see you're
My
already
bad.
getting ready for Christmas. Look at you go.
Wait,
Your
where?
shirt
Oh, I was like, what are you talking about?
sneaking
Oh,
in,
yes, The Nightmare Before Christmas.
sneaking it in now.
I feel
It
like
feels,
you can wear this anytime, you know?
I agree. Honestly, I'm all for your obsession with Christmas and Halloween miss or whatever with your
Oh, I
mood
like that.
tea.
Yes. You gotta add a little happiness wherever you can, you know?
You really do. I'm a big believer in that, as you know. We will laugh and sing amidst the horrors that be.
Yeah. Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah, we do what we must. I've already been thinking about, my additions to my Halloween decor.
I knew
I feel
it.
like I really need to, yeah, I feel like I need to step up my game. Well, so my Lisa and I, we were just walking around. There's a really cute, well, it's not like a little town, but it's called Folsom, and it's got like a cute
Yeah.
downtown or old town area. And one of the stores is all Christmas stuff all year round. And so I was in there and I was just like, yeah, I need to step it up. I need to step my game up. Like they had so many good decorations in there. I was like, dang.
Cheap
So,
or expensive?
I didn't even look. I didn't even look. Uh, that's a good question. Because I wasn't there to sh
You
really shop.
wasn't,
I was
yeah.
just looking.
Yeah.
So
Because,
I'm
some
sure
of
they
those
weren't cheap.
Christmas shops, it's like $40 per bauble, and it's like hand painted. And then others, it's like mass shipped, and your bauble maybe used to be a vase, and it's going to be like 50 cents, you know what I mean? Or
Yes.
somewhere in between.
I feel like it's true. I feel like now I'm getting a little older, so it's time to step up my game because all of my
Mm,
stuff a lot of our stuff is like just kind of cheapy ornaments. I think it's time.
yeah, you're going
I
to
think it's
become a collector. And you'll have the
I think
$40 bauble. I'll have to make
I
you a
think I
bauble,
will.
a little clay cloaca, little clay Christmas cloaca wreath.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh, I have to do that now. I haven't sent you something truly perverse in a long time. I was trying to think what the last thing was. It wasn't the goat, was it? Was it? Did I ever
No.
send you the Nicolas Cage sticker?
No.
Did I not
Damn
send
you.
you Nicolas Cage?
How dare
That
you?
was in my
How dare
shopping
you
basket for
not?
ages. I thought I sent that. Oh, I'll send it
Oh my
now. It's
gosh.
just a sticker of
I am a
Nicolas Cage.
I love that. I'm a Cage fangirl. I love Nick
Wait.
Cage.
Okay, hold on. Let's talk about it. You always surprise me. You always surprise me with your taste in men. Let's talk about, I mean, I do
I
find him
know.
amusing, but let's talk about
Yeah.
your fandom for him. Where did it start? Take me back.
Con Air. Con Air,
Uh,
baby. When he had that hair just out in the wind. You've seen Con Air, right?
ages ago. I'd need a
Oh,
refresher for what happens.
yes. Yeah. I think I don't find him like hot or anything. There's just something about him where I'm like, everything he does to me is hilarious and like genius.
Yeah,
And I can't tell if he's serious. Like, I can't tell. I can't figure him out. He's a mystery to
yeah.
me. And that's why I love him?
Kind of like Will Ferrell, but he's not a mystery. He's like very,
Yeah, yeah.
very calculated about his comedy and like very much knows, like plays into the stupidity of it and like
Yeah.
just dives deep and wide, as deep and wide as he can go to get a laugh, you know?
That's right. Yes. Yes. I
So
see Will Ferrell, I think, is planning he's got a new movie coming out
has
where he's
he?
a golf player because I've been seeing him around all different like World Cup events
Yeah.
and he's like dressed as the golf player as whatever this character is. So at like you said, he goes in.
He
He
goes
goes
in.
deep,
He goes
you
in
know?
deep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually used to hate him when I was younger. I didn't understand the comedy. I found it abrasive. And then as I got older and deconstructed, and I just like, he's like one of my gurus, Will Ferrell. I just think he's brilliant, beyond brilliant, and manages to sneak in like such like important shit into some of his stuff as well.
Now this is really taking me aback. Okay, you didn't like Will
I
Ferrell.
hated him. But remember, I grew up in a cult.
Why? Okay, wait, like what made you Okay, I remember that. Yes.
No, but
What did you see of that you didn't like?
everything. The thing is, when I say like I grew up so conservative, the amount that trickles into your everyday life, like, and that's why I'll immediately now as an adult know it was that. Because his humor was so sharp and also just ridiculous at times, it was probably it felt too close to the son of Satan. To someone like,
Oh no.
like I think,
Ah.
yeah, like there was the thing about growing up that conservative, it's not just conservativeness that like fucks you up. It's the thinking like everything is like evil and like looking for evil in everything outside of your religion. So like him who has no boundaries to his jokes, I'd be like, my Adventist filter would be like evil, evil, evil. I'd just like there'd be something that I'd be like, no, it's too far. Even though I had inside me, I had the sense of
Yeah.
humor of like the most gutter of gutter trolls. But like I would instinctively just find that abrasive. There's just so much that like I still haven't seen Charmed. Stuff
Uh-huh.
like,
Okay.
like
Yeah, that's
that's
straight
like a
up.
cult classic. And
Yeah.
actually it's on one of my lists to like get through the things that I was like kind of, thought was evil in my like
Yeah.
conservative days.
Yeah. Did you guys have your own like shows that you would watch, or were you just like
We
not
still watched
watching?
regular TV, but it
Okay.
would be a case of like, even like I remember sometimes like watching the Simpsons or something, and we'd be watching it for a while. And then at some point, it would be like my dad would walk in and even though he'd watch it sometimes, but sometimes, they'll hit on actually deeper themes or they'll make fun of
Yeah.
religion. And then it would trigger them and they'd be like, "What's that crap? Turn it off." You were watching that crap yesterday and laughing. So, like if there's too much critical thinking encouraged outside the
Mm,
religion, anything that questions the religion is shunned. That's
mm,
how they keep
mm.
them. That's how they keep them. And that's how they keep people like
Tiny.
finding. Actually, I read a fascinating. As you know, I watch a bunch of cult docos, and like, it never occurred to me. The door knocking stuff.
I
You know
don't
how like
like.
super religious people knock on doors
Oh, yeah,
to try
yeah.
to convert
Yes.
you. I always thought the main purpose of that was to try convert people, but recent evidence is showing it's not. Do you know what it's for? Do you know this already?
No. No. Uh-uh.
So I watched a documentary on ones and they were sending their kids to Finland, which is a mostly atheist country. So they go to Finland and people are just like, just fuck off, basically. But some people will like be smarter and they'll like take them in, they'll like look after them, ask them questions, which is a lot more helpful for them to deconstruct. But anyway, what they were finding is that the the deep goal is rarely to convert. The deep goal is to keep the people in the religion subservient. Because they go out into the world and people are like, "What are you doing on my doorstep? Like, your religion's a joke, like, blah, blah, blah," berate them. And then you're like, "Oh, see, the world is so terrifying. Oh my God." Like, and then you lock into your religion that you were brought up in because that's what's safe. You're not being ridiculed there. So it's like a reprogramming, re-anchoring into your faith. Isn't that crazy, like
Mm.
calculated?
So calculated. And that's what, like, my brain can never comprehend. Because, you just go about life thinking like everybody's just pure and good and kind. And then you're like, wait a minute, at the heart of it. it's very diabolical and very controlling and like that's gross
Yeah,
to think of it like,
some
oh, it's
people.
just a way. Right.
Yeah,
Right.
there are predators amongst us who know how to manipulate people and they do it. Like I don't know if oh my God, this my brain is just here now because I don't know if you've seen Trust Me, the false prophet yet.
No, I don't think so.
Girl, it has to be one of the most groundbreaking. Like the lady and her husband who got most of the footage deserve some kind of like Nobel
Oh,
Peace Prize.
is that the one where she's like a blonde
Yes.
lady and she like like gets to hang out with the family and the
Yeah.
dad is like the yes, 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 yes.
So it's a follow-up of, when we had the Warren Jeffs stuff come out and that massive keep, sweep, pray and obey and all that thing. This lady who was also formerly like very religious and fell victim to a predator, and her story is wild what happened to her. And she just had a real bee in her bonnet about this like really the FLDS community in Utah, I think it is. And so her and her husband, and like honestly, these people are my patron saints, like they are just I feel emotional even just thinking about what they did. So yeah, they went in and she just had it on her heart to just like make friends with them, with all these people and like learn about them and just like you know, in her heart, she doesn't want them to be so vulnerable and uncovered this guy who, sorry, Goose is just crying in the corner. She's just like doing her
I
fussy look.
heard her for a
Can you hear it?
second.
This is what she's
Yeah.
doing. She's like, hmm, 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 hmm. She does these little rumbly Frenchy talk. Shut up, Mama's talking about cult docos. So yeah, they went in and she like made friends and like became part of the community and everybody trusted her and she uncovered this guy who basically he so I don't know if you know, well, you wouldn't know this unless you see this doco, but when that guy Warren Jeffs went to prison, he forbid the members of his congregation from marriage and having babies while he was away, even though that was their whole ass thing before.
Insane.
Yeah, so in
It's
the confusion, she's like everyone was actually really confused and had no leadership, and this fucking piece of shit predator came in and was like, "No, I'm the new prophet," and most people shunned him, but he managed to like just like somehow accumulate like 25 wives or something in a very short but the backstory, like fair trigger warnings, the backstory of like who these wives are, the age of many of them and the struggle that this woman, Christine, had to go through to like actually convict him is one of them. And you have, so her and her husband, Tolga, videoing every step of the way. So they have footage of like stuff you would never hear people admitting to. And they befriended this predator so they could get all this evidence. And even when they had a shit ton of evidence, the local police like, well, we can't really do anything, which blew my mind. And everybody is pretty pissed off at them for not doing anything initially because there was a lot of evidence. But anyway, I cannot recommend it enough. But what made me think of it is that like mind control that he used, the brainwashing where you see these little girls like defending him and like screaming at the police officers like you're going to go to hell, like they've been brainwashed and groomed to think that he's this holy man. And it's truly haunting but so important to watch because even in this documentary, you see children are not the only ones who can be brainwashed and groomed. You see, like,
hmm
a- adults with, because if there's no critical thinking and somebody steps in, it was ripe for the plucking of this guy. And, and yeah, I think that's why she's stayed in that community and she's working with them because she wants people to realize you can say no. These are red flags. Like, this is not okay. Like, she wants to like help them have a baseline so they're not honestly, she's just amazing. I'm absolutely obsessed with what her and her husband did because it would have ripped out chunks of their soul to have to be
Yeah.
around it for that long, but they did it to just like save as many of these girls as they could, and it's fucking
Yeah.
wild. It's fucking
Well,
wild, girl.
It is. Well, and they weren't condescending about it either. Like they
No.
treated them like human beings, like friends, and I think that was the powerful thing about that too, is
Mm.
just like it wasn't like you guys don't know what you're doing. You're wrong here, here, and here.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was just
yeah.
them being there for them. And
Yeah.
yeah, it's so gross.
So
So, yeah.
gross. Burn it all down, man. And honestly, I was thinking about it when we were chatting with Rachel today and just about, I just want to really elevate all the busybodies who ask questions. I want to bring back the busybodies who do not let, who get a bee in their bonnet and they will not let it rest and they will see justice served. Like, I'm just very pro busybodies these days. Let's stop minding
Oh,
our own
yeah.
business and remember that we're all part of the same beautiful, stinking world.
That's good. No, that's true though.
Ah,
Did you ever see the documentary Don't Fuck with Cats? I think
no.
it's what it's called. So it's very similar to that of like getting a bee in your bonnet, as you say. Like
Mm,
it was okay, it's on Netflix and it was so interesting. It was about this person posted a video of them like it's been a while since I've seen it, but of them hurting or killing cats. And then it just kind of led to these few women who were curious about this, who would just like uncover this whole mystery. And like,
mm.
man, I need to rewatch it, but I just remember being like, this is what the internet's for.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
this is what the internet is so good about, is when somebody really does learn something so interesting or terrible or whatever it is, and they can't stop thinking about it until they're
Yeah.
like, I need to solve this mystery. And I feel like so many things could be solved if our busybodies were given
Unleashed.
the free reign. Just let them go. I mean, it's not great on a lot on some things,
Mm,
like Kennedy Ryan, who's this, amazing author.
mm,
She, speaking of busybodies, she had mentioned that she uses a pen name. And so people decided for some reason to find her government name, which, it's not like a hidden thing. Like I guess it was on her website, but she goes by Kennedy Ryan. And
mm.
so some people decided to find her government name and like post about it online.
What?
And so I'm like, okay, some busybodying is
That's
not good.
no, that's
Like,
just unnecessary and like stalkerish. But like
yeah.
in terms of like, I always have a part of my brain switched on if I see something sus. Like I think
Hmm.
I told you about that time over COVID lockdowns, and then I saw these little kids playing under a tree, and I saw this man lurking under a different tree. And I was just walking my dog, and I was like, "Oh, it's probably their dad." And I was like, don't let your brain go to the dark side." But something about the way he was standing inside of this tree, like hidden and not with them completely, just set my spidey sense on edge. And I was just like bristling, and I was like, doesn't cost you anything to just stand here for a second. And then just waited. And I waited and I watched those little babies. And then 2 minutes later, this like middle-aged woman just came running across the park, crying and screaming because she'd lost her kids. They'd wandered off, collected her
Mm.
kids and walked off. And the man, where was he? Still under the tree after she was gone. I fucking followed him when he left. I followed him
Of
and like
course you
watched
did.
him go to his car and drive off. And I was like,
Oh,
I just glared at him because I was like still wanting to prove to myself that I made the right choice. I was like, oh, maybe it's the grandpa and he's following at a distance. No, he got in his car and drove off alone. You
hell
never
no.
know. So I always keep one tendril open. Like, I wish we didn't have to, but that
Yeah,
type
but we
of
do.
busybodying, I think that's just the best for the human race, to know that like
Yes.
she doesn't know what I did, but I
Mm-hmm.
know. And I think knowing that there's busybodies like me helps me cope, you know? I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of us, especially women, like we can't help but like, you know,
Yes.
hate
Use
and
your
want.
busybodying for good, not
Yeah.
for evil.
That's it. What was that documentary about the cats called? I want to watch that.
I believe it's called Don't Fuck with Cats. Let me double
Mm,
check.
glorious.
Yes. Because I didn't, there was another one, but that one to me, I was like, this is
While you
nuts.
while you find it, welcome to the show, everyone.
Oh,
We just dove in. So
typical.
many all the side quests. Um, I'm your friendly Australian co-host, Melanie Schubert. This is the great Angela Montoya.
Yes, this is I. This is I. Yes, don't fuck with cats. Hunting an internet
Mm.
killer.
Oh my God. I
Yes.
agree with you though. I love when the internet does its thing. Even the other day, I saw people posting about Shrek. Have you heard about this?
I don't know. Like the new Shrek
The
coming
new
out, or what
Shrek?
is it?
Yeah. So
Are they
apparently
talking?
they've quote unquote yassified Fiona. Well, they've aged Shrek.
Yeah.
So Fiona looks like this young wisp of a thing, not a wrinkle in sight. She's had a nose job, she's had chin lipo, she's aging like a Benjamin Button. you know? And the internet, I just saw like the internet's in an uproar and people were just like, internet, do your thing. Because apparently it's turned the tide before when people were up in arms being like, how long are we gonna draw like old men with like young girls? Like, why is Fiona the only one not aging? And I was like, yeah, internet, do your thing. Like, you're right. There are some pros and all of that to being so
Yeah.
connected.
We need justice for Fiona. What Fiona was not that girl, okay?
Yeah.
That is so not Fiona. So, yeah. Yes, internet, do your thing. I remember, did you watch the song? Well, you probably not, but Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie?
I don't know if
When
I watched the movie, but
Okay, but
maybe.
when it first, like when the trailer first came out, they had Sonic looking so funky and like inauthentically Sonic that the internet was up in arms and they changed what Sonic looked like. So,
Amazing.
yes, internet, do your thing. We need Fiona back.
Keep
We need
bringing
our
back
girl
that ugly
Fiona.
ogre girl. We need woman.
Yeah.
She is a
Yes,
mother. She has seen things. She chose to be a hideous beast, and she was
that's
she
right.
was fine with how she looked. So bring her back.
That's it. Bring her back. Yeah,
Okay,
we don't
but
need a yassified
we don't
Fiona.
need a yassified Fiona. That's what people were saying. It looks like she's got the like a yassified Instagram filter on. It's like it does though.
Fiona. Yeah.
Yeah.
Still
But
gonna see it
ogres
though.
aside, how are you? What are you doing? What are you working on? Tell me all the things.
I'm good. I am still reeling because yesterday I went to the world's longest dance recital for one of my nieces.
Damn.
She's a beautiful, gorgeous dancer, so I would go 1,000 times.
Yeah.
But she was in four dances, and this recital was 4 hours.
Fuck.
Yeah, yeah.
What? No,
So I'm
nobody
still
needs
recovering.
that.
Dude, no. Oh, but this is the drama. Let me tell you guys the
Tell
drama
me the
about this dance
drama.
recital. So, so every year they do a different like Disney theme or like they do a
Yeah.
full production. So it's cool. It's kind of cool how they do it. They like it's Beauty and the Beast, and so they take you through the story and they'll do like different dances for different scenes in Beauty and the Beast. So
Mm.
this year they're going to do Mary Poppins. But turns out they were getting their shirts made, Mary Poppins shirts made, and whoever owns the print shop ratted them out to Disney and said, "Oh, they're using your Mary Poppins like logo. It's copyright, whatever." And so Disney like got a hold of the company, which is this little dance studio in in a small town, and was like, you guys can't use Mary Poppins. Like, you can't, that's
Oh
our stuff."
my God.
So, so last minute, the company is like, well, we have to take out like Mary Poppins and switch up the songs. And so it turned into Mary Ellen Loppins, was the story. and they
Glorious.
like switched a bunch of songs. And so it was a whole drama. I was really invested because
Mm,
as a patron of the arts, they sent us emails letting us know what was going on. So I was fully invested. I was ready for Mary Ellen Loppins. And yeah, somehow it turned the damn thing into 4 hours though. And so so yeah, so by the time so I'm still in recovery.
that's fair. I
Um,
would be so stiff from sitting in like a theater chair for 4 hours.
for that
Nobody
long.
needs that.
No.
Was it
We
multiple productions that they were rehearsing, or that was the production?
That was the production. That was it took, bless their hearts, it took them at least 5 minutes per scene to change out the scenery. It was a mess, but my niece, shout out, she danced beautifully. She's the
Yeah.
best damn wind there ever could be. She was wind, and she was great at it.
You know what? I think
Um,
this is why my gobsmacked boss makes a killing and she's taking off because like they like do a short condensed show that's like very streamlined because I think parents got tired of weathering 4 hour. 4 hours is the longest I've heard for the record. You deserve a crown. I thought two
dude,
hours is audacious. You
oh
know,
my
one
God,
of the
I know.
shows I wrote at the start for Gobsmacked, it was heading towards just because, yeah, like with too many lines, it might look fine on paper, but getting every kid to get out that line and like all of that, get then it just stretched on, and we wound up trimming that back because it was creeping in over like an hour and a half towards 2 hours, and people were just like, 4 hours.
So
Four.
much. Yeah.
You must love
So
your
that
niece.
I do. She's so awesome. She's so creative and super cool. So I would see anything, I
Yeah,
have four
yeah.
nieces and she's like, what is she? It doesn't matter what age she is, but she's one of the younger ones. And
Yeah.
so she's just like she's like into books and
Yeah.
like, she's a dancer. So she's just like I think she's awesome.
Girl after
But
your own heart.
would I Yes, 100%. But damn. So my ass is still, in recovery. But yeah, that's kind of what I'm
That's
where my
consuming
brain's
your
at right
every
now.
thought. That's okay. I
Yeah.
feel like that's really
I'm telling
valid.
everybody.
And I think
Yeah.
when it goes on that long, it doesn't leave you for a while. You know, like when
Yeah, we
something
were like
drags on
it
that long, you're like, am I still
yes.
there?
Right. Yeah, I was out of my body by the time it
Yeah.
ended.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. My because I was sitting next to my stepmom and she just kept showing me her watch, being like, "Look what time it is now." It's
She
like,
was over it.
yeah. And you're kind of like, see, here I go. I'm still going off about it. I'm still
All
traumatized because
right.
you can't just leave. Of course, her last dance was the last dance. But you
Yeah.
also can't just leave because you want to see him at the end and give him hugs and take pictures.
Hmm.
So, we were trapped. But
Oh,
shout out,
well.
shout out to the recital.
Yeah, I
Anyway,
was.
what have you been up to?
Oh, yeah. No, it's okay. You can go on this tangent. I'm here. I have been power drafting a new draft, as you know.
Hell
I haven't
yes.
mentioned it on here, I don't think.
No, because it's like you brand new been
Yeah.
started this.
I did. So Sandra's back in office today. She was away for a bit. And I was like, I'll just tell her. Because I actually hadn't told her that I was working on it because I didn't expect it. So I actually last year I was working in a middle grade called the Swamp Princess, which RIP. It was beautiful. It was beautiful, but it just was like I guess it needed a bit more direction. And when I sent it to Sandra, that's basically what she said. And there was a lot of feedback. And at the time when she sent me the feedback, we'd also had and I think I might have chatted about this on the pod. We'd also had like our group meeting with all our agent siblings, and one of the things she'd mentioned was that middle grade horror editors weren't really asking for it at that time, which was when I made the pivot to do the graphic novel script and do a fantasy and get that in. I was like, I'll just let this cook. I didn't have the vision for turning it into a thriller or whatever at the time. And I'll be honest with you, I still don't. But when I went back and I was like looking over her notes, because I was like, oh, while she's reading my graphic novel script, I'll see if I can do this, pull it off, and do a quick edit and have that just waiting for her and surprise her. And as I was reading the notes, once again, I was like, oh my God, what would I even do with this? Like, I just can't see myself reworking that story to fit this feedback. And that was the answer. One day I was just like standing there,
Mm.
like combing my hair or something, coming out of the shower, and I was just like, just raging about, the problems that be. And out of nowhere, I think the combination of raging and reading the feedback and wondering what I was going to work on, this book just started like auto-populating in my head so fast. I just stopped everything I was doing that day. I mapped out a beat sheet and then either that day, no, I think it was the next day, I mapped it out chapter by chapter. Within 2 days, I'd mapped out the whole thing. And that was just last week. And now I'm about 5 chapters into writing it. Yeah.
Shoot.
So I'm just humming along. And I did say all of
Major.
that is to say, I did say to her today when she checked in, and I was just like, by the way, we're busting out a new draft for you. Get ready. So yeah, I just said to her, like, if I can basically give her a pitch and chapters anytime she wants, but I'm just going to keep humming through. Because, yeah, it just, when the idea is just auto-populating in your head, and it's
Yeah.
just like, I'm having so much fun with it. I did incorporate, as you know, your nickname Monty, and the Baywatch Blue inhuman eye stare has made its way into this book in the best way. Um, I think in the best way. So yeah, I'm having fun. I'm genuinely like, yeah, just like racing through when with that like pure fire that I was missing that, man. I've been missing. 'Cause I did have that writing the graphic novel script, but because there was so much happening and I was just like, looking after my mental health primarily and then writing on the side. Whereas now I feel like I've kind of broken through and I'm just like, just whooshing through. It's glorious.
You are whooshing through. I mean, 5 chapters already. That's so much. That's so you already chapter by chapter outlined
Yeah, I
everything.
did.
Yeah, you're gonna go through this fast then.
That's it, because well, actually, I stole that idea from you because I think it's genius. And I think if I'm really honest with myself, it's where I struggle the most. If I just deep dive into writing and just fully let the story just take me where it wants, then you've got like thousands and thousands and thousands of words. And if you have to change something there, it's so much harder. Or you just don't, I can't see the whole vision clearly. Whereas chapter by chapter or in a beat sheet at the very least, usually I'll just at the very least do the beat sheet. You can just see the whole story as it flows. And you're right, like it's super fast. Like I'm definitely adding more and changing parts as I go. But that spine, that story spine that I told myself in those chapters is definitely going to carry through. So ah.
It's so like cool how you can put a project to the side and like, oh, maybe this is I can't figure it out or whatever. It's like not working.
Mm,
And then months later, a year later, however long later, like something just snaps and you're
yeah.
like, wait, this is the missing piece. I just find that so fun about being a writer is like when that thing hits. It's like it
Yeah,
really is big magic. It's so cool.
I agree. It does feel like big magic. And yeah, it's so nice to be, I don't know, just like I feel a little bit high at the moment on writing again, which is so
Yay!
nice because I just wasn't feeling that for a while. Whereas now I'm just like, bring on the rejections. Like I'm just gonna polish as much stuff as I can and get it on submission. I'm back to just remembering it's not personal. I'm good at this. I'm just gonna bust my ass and get work out there and like not getting hung up on whatever is currently on submission or what feedback I'm getting on that. And I really want
Yeah,
to carry that through with whatever I get in the trenches next and just chuck it in and go. You know, it's in the submission
I love
trenches.
that.
Now I'm on something else. I'm not gonna like just, I don't know, like marinate
Yeah.
on like what's not happening. I'm gonna like control what I can make happen, you know?
Yes. And I think that's like the beautiful thing too about being a creative. I
Mm,
think we're like at our best and it's like our our most blessed
yeah.
really is when we get to just write something, send it out into the world and then write something else.
Yeah.
Like that's always like the thing I just keep thinking of like, oh, if I could just keep writing stories, I'll be the like I will be so fulfilled.
Yeah.
Sell them, yes, that'd be great. But if I could just kind of like get all of these stories out of my head somehow over the
Yeah.
years, I'll be the luckiest girl in the world. And I think that's like good advice when you're on submission and when you
Yeah.
are querying is like let's just keep writing the things because that's what
Mm,
we all really want to do in the end of the day. Sell them, yes,
yeah.
but also just keep writing and getting those stories out.
Yeah.
Yeah, blessed. We're blessed.
Controlling
Hashtag blessed.
hashtag best. But yeah, like that's the only part we can control anyway, you know, like leveling up our craft, creating more work, like everything else is so beyond our control. So so yeah. I don't know, but like yeah, I will still like tip my hat to the girl who was like wading through it in the months before, you know, because that's a real part of it too. And I do think weathering that is like just as important as now, as the fire I'm feeling now and the like the uptick and you know, the alignment of everything and whatever.
Yeah.
It feels like so right and so correct and so important. But the other part is still part of the journey as well. And, you know, I think in a way, I'm just like extra relishing now because it was so heavy for a while, you know, and I'm just like, yeah, I will just write the most ridiculous things I can think of and just have as much fun as I can. And yeah, middle grade is perfect for that.
Yeah. You've made it through the fire. Now you get to like be a firecracker.
I'll
I
take it.
lost it.
I'll take it.
Okay, perfect.
But I do see we're down to
Speaking
two
of,
minutes somehow.
yeah,
Girl,
speaking of fire and firecrackers.
I actually can't
Uh,
believe that. I was unprepared. Do you have it?
um,
I've got it.
okay. I lost it.
Oh shit. Sorry, I keep yanking my earphones. I'm so not used to it. We had on, as you said, a firecracker of a human, the Rachel M. Marsh, who's the author of Grandpere's?
Grandpere. I don't.
I'm
You
gonna
just
say
use
the
yours
author
because you got
of
the accent.
yeah, the author of Grandpiere's Ghost Swamp, a Kirkus Earphones Award winner, and Rougarou Magic, a South Carolina State Book Award nominee. Both titles are Junior Library Guild selections. She earned her MFA from Simmons University and lives in New Orleans, where she and her husband eat the world's best food. I hear that about New Orleans.
Yeah, me too. It's literally a bucket list place that to go. So someday I'm gonna force Armando to go so we could eat all the good food.
No doubt you'll stalk Rachel's house.
Yeah.
She'll tell you
Yeah.
the address after today. I doubt it.
Oh, I already know.
Uh, is it far away? New Orleans from you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I don't know, maybe 6, 7 hour flight, maybe?
Damn, flight. That's why I
Yeah,
forget how huge America is. Like it's actually wild.
we're
But
big.
yeah, 7 hour flight is wild. I thought you were gonna say drive, but yeah. It's gonna cut us off.
Maybe less. I might be over exaggerating.
Okay, you're allowed. You and Nicolas Cage are
Okay,
allowed to
thanks.
exaggerate whatever you want.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I'm not gonna
Oh,
do
come
Nicolas
on,
Cage.
come
No.
on. I was ready for it. Give me your best. Give me your best. It's gonna cut us off.
I can't.
Bye.
Rachel!
Oh.
Hello. Sorry, I'm already being nosy. I love your background. I love your house. Is that your
Thank
house?
you. It is my house, yes.
I love the color choice of the wall.
Thank you. It actually came with the house. I can't take credit, but I did keep it.
Yeah, we'll see. Then give
Yeah.
yourself credit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love it. Is it I'm
Thanks.
sorry, I'm just being so nosy. Is it gray or is it green?
It's like a sage green.
Okay, I
Oh.
just bought like a sage green to paint part of my kitchen with, so I'm also thriving for your background because I'm like, is that what it's gonna look like?
It's a great color, very calming, very sort of
Yeah.
like nature vibes.
Mm.
Yeah,
I'm a
we
cool
could all
tone
use that.
decor person.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. Here for it. Yeah. Sorry, I was just going
No.
right in, not even
Oh,
a hello.
it's all
I didn't even
good.
say hello.
Hello.
I said, tell me about your house. Well, welcome
Glorious.
to the show and thank you for joining us.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm
this is
so
fun.
happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're pumped, honestly. Okay, well, we'll get right into it and
Okay.
just go for the hard stuff, even though I already got into it about asking you about your personal. Tell us your address. Just kidding.
No. No, this was a debate that my husband and I had when we were like setting up. We were like, can anyone tell anything personal from our living room?
Mm.
We decided no. We decided, other than the fact that we like sage green, we're safe.
Yes.
Yes. No, you're good. You're good for sure.
Not Angela playing into your worst fear before
I know.
recording.
I'm sorry.
No, it's all
My
good.
bad. My bad.
I'm
It
grateful
looks
because
great.
I was literally wondering, can I paint the wall sage green and leave the ceiling white? The answer is
Oh, you
yes.
can.
So thank
Definitely.
you.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Yeah.
not running off afraid. Ah,
Okay, well, back to our favorite question. Now that we know have exposed your worst fears, what is the strangest thing that you own?
So I have a vintage slot machine.
ooh,
Yes, it originally belonged to my husband's grandmother. She had it by the pool when he was growing up, so the kids could like swim and gamble. Um, and then once we were adults, my dad is a really like projecty guy. Like he fixes cars and he builds furniture. So he fixed it up. He got the lights working. He fixed the chrome because it turns out chlorine is really bad for chrome. And so yeah, now I have a vintage slot machine. So everybody who comes to my house can give me all their quarters.
I love this.
Yeah, yeah,
glorious.
Very bold choice to have it. So it was outside by the
yeah,
pool.
I think so.
That's bold. I like grandma for this,
Yeah,
A little extra entertainment.
for sure. What are you gonna do on a pool day if not try to win a bunch of quarters?
Yeah. Also genius, like for her, if she just played on her own and then at the end she was like, well, I'll just take my money back from myself.
Yeah,
It's just there, ready to go.
absolutely.
Is there a theme to the slot machine?
It's kind of just your standard, like cherries, some sevens, I think it's just pretty classic.
How
Wood
does one
paneled. Yeah.
obtain? How does one obtain a slot machine just for chance?
I don't know how she ended
Mm,
up with it. I mean, you can like get one on eBay, but I don't
mm,
know that she did that because it would have been a
mm.
while ago. So I don't know. A mysterious
Fascinating.
origin
Yeah.
to my slot machine.
Very mysterious, very mysterious. You know what I've been wanting lately is like an old like VHS TV
Mm,
combo. They're
yeah,
Ooh.
kind of
all
hard to
square.
find though. Yeah, like a square old school one. I saw another author, Jackie, um, Khalil have it in her, I think she put it in her kitchen. And so like just old school style, putting the VHS in there and just like putting on like that's kind of cool, I think, but
Yeah.
they're hard to find. So hook
Mm.
me up, anybody. Anybody who's got a hook up
You
on
need to wait
VHS
like a few
combos.
more decades for it to become like, the vintage thing, like the old ones with the dial. Because they want to
Mm.
be able to
Oh.
charge you a fortune for it. People are probably hanging on to it until it's worth something.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
They're
Thanks for that, Melanie. I appreciate that advice.
just
Yeah.
crushing your dreams quietly.
Yeah. Well, Rachel, what is something that you think about way too often? What is your Roman Empire?
Yeah. So the things that I think about way too much tend to be the things that I turn into books. I feel like that is like
Mm.
my brain coping, like I'm having this thought and this thought and this thought, and my brain starts being like, okay, well, how can we be useful about this? How can we turn it into a story? Maybe give your feelings to like some characters who can work through it for you. So, my book that came out just a few months ago, Grandpere's Ghost Swamp, I partly wrote it because I can't stop thinking about Louisiana's coastal erosion crisis. Like I wish I had something more fun. But
Yeah.
it is a middle
No.
grade book, so like there's lots of fun in it. You won't leave feeling sad. But yeah, Louisiana. I live in New Orleans, by the way, context. Adding to the people are gonna people are gonna find me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
But it's crucial context for why I think about this so much. But Southeast Louisiana is losing land faster than anywhere else on the planet. We lose a
Mm.
football field of land every 100 minutes. And in the
Oh my
last,
God.
I know, and in the last like 100 years, we have lost, I think it's 2,000 square miles of land. It's like the size of the state of Delaware.
I
Um,
did not know this.
Lost
yeah,
it to
and
like the sea?
yes.
Fuck.
Yes. So, yeah. No, I mean that's what I'm thinking every day.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, so basically, quick version is that the Mississippi River built the land by like depositing sediment over years. But then we built levees so that we can live here and not have our homes flooded. But now, because of the levees, the river can't build new land. So when it erodes, it can't get replaced. And so the Gulf is coming for me, and I think about it all the time. And the solutions, and how I can get involved in the solutions, and how we can make our elected officials do more for the solutions. And yeah, it's just always going. So
Oh
I wrote
my
a book about
God.
it.
And now it's always going to be going in. I feel like I saw like a hurricane documentary where they touched on this briefly. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
specifically where you are or whether it was further. And I was just like, oh my God, like, what do we do? And I'm just so, like,
Yeah.
lately, I'm so, so increasingly grateful and just want to shout about like the people like you who take interest. Like, we need more sticky beaks screaming about these things because I think a lot of people, I don't know, lately I'm just like so hyper aware that a lot of people just live in their bubble and like, well, I guess that happened. And you're like, no, I'm going to write a book about it because I think about it every day.
Yeah.
And like, what are we
Yes.
doing, people? What are we doing?
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Mm,
And I mean, I'm here to shout about it. A lot of people, are already working on it. And that's, part of what's in the book too, is I feel like, especially when you're writing middle grade, like, you don't want to put the whole climate crisis on like a 12-year-old's
hmm
shoulders. So I feel like it's so important to also talk about like, okay, well, here are the grown-ups who are already doing something about this. Like, you're not alone. And it's being worked on, even if it is really serious and really important because I love living here and I want to keep doing it. So I would love for the Gulf to chill and stay farther away from me, please.
Yeah, relax. Like, come on, golf.
Yeah,
Like, chill.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah,
think that's honestly, though, especially like writing for middle grade readers, like that's
mm,
the next generation of movers and shakers in this
yeah,
world. And so, like, even just putting that in their minds now for the future, I think is so valuable and so
mm.
important. And I think it's such a good point too of just being like, it's not somebody else's problem. It's like you were saying, Melanie, like we're just in our bubble, but it's not just for
It's
somebody
all
else to
of our
do,
problems.
right? Like
Like,
we
that's
need
the
to be
thing.
taking it's all of us.
Hmm
Yeah, we all live here. You live in Louisiana,
I
so it's like
do.
everybody, she lives in Louisiana, everybody.
Come find me, please don't.
So, but I think it's so, so important. Like
Yeah.
so when you're writing a middle grade, like how do you balance that heaviness with like humor or lightness? Like, is it adding the adults, like the adults are doing okay or doing stuff or like what's the balance for you?
So, what I like to do is add like one supernatural element. So, for
Ah,
Grandpere's Ghost Swamp, there's obviously a ghost. It's the ghost of her grandfather. And then my first book, Ruguru Magic, there's a Ruguru, which is a swamp creature from Cajun folklore. So you have
Cool.
so you have your real life problem, coastal erosion, or in Rougarou Magic, it's about a Cajun kid who moved up to Boston and she's struggling with the adjustment until her grandma sends a Rougarou. Um, Also based on something I couldn't stop thinking about. I lived in Boston for 2 years. But I think adding that like supernatural element lets you have that little more lightness, that little more creativity, and just stops it from feeling so like real world bogged down. Like it's a little bit less scary if you're going on adventures with your grandpa's ghost or your
Yeah.
Yeah.
canine, your magical dog best friend.
Mm.
Yeah. I love that you're also adding like Cajun mythology into that. Like I've never heard of that. Rougarou, is that how you say it?
Yes.
I've
So the
never
Ruger,
heard of that before. It's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah, the Ruger is very cool. My version is definitely like a more friendly version because it is for like a younger audience. I mean, 8 to 12, but the Rougarou, like actual Rougarou stories, there's a bunch of them, but it's kind of like the Cajun werewolf in a lot of ways. Like it can be like a shapeshifter, and it very much comes out of like, honestly, it came with us all the way from like medieval France, and it's very much the sort of like morality monster, right?
Hmm.
Where it's like, oh, if you don't go to bed on time, the Rougarou is gonna get you. Like if you don't say your prayers right, the Rougarou is gonna get you. So but my version, he's not going to get you, except to be your friend. Spoiler alert, I guess.
I love
He's a
that.
kindly Rougarou.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, this sounds so amazing. And yeah, I'm so like passionate about things that make people feel empowered as well. And I think giving it that like adventure element and making it like not scary, you like make people not scared about it growing up. You make them like, instead of just like cowering in the corner, it's like, what can I do? And I think like it's such a vast difference like in it's something I've been trying to rewire my whole life instead of just like cowering and waiting for the end of time. Like, no, let's mess some shit up and try fix this up before we go?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like you start thinking about like, okay, well, what's the cost of like waiting around and then what's the cost of doing something? And it's like, well, we're here now. Let's do
Mm-hmm.
something.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I love you something in the way of writing these books for like for kids now, for adults, for the future generation, all
Mm.
to sort of like touch on all of these like really serious subjects. I think it's like it's your form of activism, and I
Mm.
think that's so like powerful. Did you always want to be a writer?
Yes, but I also wanted to be a lot of things. Like growing up, I
Yeah.
also I also wanted to be a singer and I also wanted to be on Broadway and I also wanted to be a doctor. And so it was really kind of a narrowing down. Writer is where I landed.
How did you get to that? How did you narrow it down? How did we get here?
Well, I can't be a doctor because I get really barfy and fainty at
Mm.
medical things. I used to work at a gym in college and I had to get CPR certified every year. And every single year I threw up in the CPR training. And CPR is like not that gross, you know what I mean? So I couldn't be a doctor. And honestly, I love to sleep, and Broadway is a nighttime game.
Mm. Mm.
And I also, it's also very local to like certain parts of the country. And I really like living where I live. So writing, thankfully, obviously the industry is still centered in New York, but it's easier to write not in New York, as y'all both know, y'all don't live there.
This is true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, speaking of writing, do you like take us back? Do you remember like the first dabblings that you did?
Probably not the first because I feel like I started so young. Like when I was a
Mm.
kid, I would just like walk circles around my family's like kitchen table and like tell stories to myself and anyone else who would listen. And I would like go to like kindergarten show and tell and be like, this is the book
Mm.
that I wrote. So all of you now have to listen to it. So it really started pretty early and never stopped.
Glorious.
Amazing. Okay, so yeah, I love this. You're just always telling stories. So
Mm.
do you like what was your sort of like journey to becoming a published author? Like what what, what did you query first? Like what was that? whole journey
Mm.
for you like?
Yeah, so well, when I went to college, I was an English major and I was like interested in writing, but in like in the academic setting I was in, it was like very focused on like literary short fiction, which I've never written a good short story to save my life. And also adult literary short fiction. And I was,
Mm.
like 18. Like, what did I know about being an adult, right? So I got a job in like marketing out of college. And I was just like walking to my car one day and I just had the like light bulb inspiration moment of like, I bet that there are MFA programs for people who also want to write children's books. Because I had a professor who had mentioned MFA programs, but before that, I was like, well, I probably can't get in if I don't have good adult literary short fiction. But turns out that's not true. So I
Mm.
Googled and applied, and I ended up going to Simmons University in Boston to get my MFA in creative writing for children. And also, while I was in Boston, I happened to intern at a publishing company with Larissa, who is Angela and my agent. So
Oh,
that's where we
really?
met, yes, at Barefoot Books.
Cool.
Yeah, she was editorial, I was marketing. Um, and then I moved home, graduated, and COVID hit, and I finished writing one of my projects that I had started working on during grad school. And yeah, I queried like 100 people, and Larissa was the one who said yes. And then we kind of went from there.
Wow.
Awesome.
That's
I
so
didn't know you
real.
guys already like had the connection. That's cool.
Yeah, it was, it's one of those things you're like querying so many people and you're like putting it in the intro line, like, I hope she remembers me. We like ate lunch together one time at the office. Like,
That's so real. That is
yeah.
so.
But in the email, you're like, hey girl, how's it been?
Mm.
I'm sure I didn't say that. I'm sure I was professional, but.
Mm. Yeah, do you remember like anything that stood out about your querying process? Like anything good, anything bad?
So actually, Rougarou Magic, which was my first book published and the one that Larissa like accepted the query on, was not the first book that I queried. I
Mm.
had another project that didn't get picked up, and I was kind of back and forth between them. Like I would work on one and then get some feedback and then query, and then like work on the other one when I got some feedback. I mostly remember it just being a lot of rejections. That is one thing that I'm really thankful to my MFA program for was I feel like they gave us a really realistic idea of how many rejections were going to be coming our way. Because I feel like if you didn't go in with that mindset, it would be just crushing, you know? Like I'll talk to people at author events and that's, they always often ask like how did you get an agent? How did you get a publisher? And they'll say, "Well, I queried 10 people, I queried 15 people and nobody wanted to pick it up." And I'm like, "Okay, well, 90 to go,
Yeah.
Like it really is just an avalanche of no's and you got to be prepared for that, I guess."
Mm. That's
That's
why I
real.
wanted to ask
That's real.
because it's so real that so many of us do have to go through hundreds of rejections to get anywhere.
Yeah.
And I agree with you. I also sometimes meet someone and they'll be like, "Yeah, I've queried it," and they sent it to like three people. God knows, panicked and withdrew it. And I was like, wait. Three? No. I was like, three
Yeah.
no's is just like it's not even like it feels bad, right? Those first few feel shocking, but yeah, the reality is rack them up, rack up those
Yeah.
rejections.
Yeah, I just made like a goal of like I'm gonna query X number of agents per month.
Mm.
And it is also like at a certain point you like kind of know you're getting close because you start getting feedback that's not just like
Mm.
no, or you start getting like a partial request and then you're like, okay,
Mm.
I'm at least on the right track. That was I was actually really surprised the other project that I started querying, like I had gotten a lot more like partial requests and that kind of stuff. So I was thinking like, oh, this is gonna be the one, but it wasn't. It was Rigor Magic.
Mm.
I mean, it is so interesting how like how this whole thing works, right? Like we always talk about the art of the pivot. And it's like you think one project's gonna hit and you're just like, no, okay, let me try this one. And then that's the
Mm.
one and you're just like, I don't know what the special magic was because this one's just as good. So it's so interesting. Just how it works and you kind of just can't figured out like sometimes it really is luck or a little bit of magic. I don't know what, but whatever the case is, we get there. We just keep going, we just keep querying, and we find a way. Okay,
Yeah.
you mentioned your MFA program and how they sort of prepared you for this. For
Mm.
those of us who have never been part of an MFA program, can you break it down? Because I hear people talk about it all the time, and I'm always like, what what do you guys do in these MFA
Yeah.
programs? Like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, so I feel like probably every program is different. Like when I was applying, I was just applying to writing for children, and it was like picture book through YA. So pretty broad age range still. But at the time, there was only two in-person options. There was Simmons, where I went, and then there's the new school in New York. I don't know if that's still the case. Everything else was a low residency MFA. So you would like, I guess, take your classes online or like be working remotely with like a mentor, and then you would like go in person maybe like once a year to meet your writing cohort. And like on the one hand, there's a lot of advantages to that. You don't have to move, and that is how writing works. Once you're writing, like I don't go see my editor every day, like we just email. But I really wanted to go in person because I was like, connections, connections, connections. I guess that's something that came out of my like limited theater experience is that a lot of the time it doesn't matter how good you are, like you need to be friends with the person sitting in the casting chair. So I was like, I need to go, I need to meet people and also like meet other writers because like it can be a very solitary career and it's like really crucial to have those other people going through it with you. So that was why I picked an in-person program. And the way mine was set up was, and I don't think this is typical, but it was like half literary analysis and then like half writing craft, which was very up my alley because I was like 1 year out of an English degree and I was like, ooh, like post-colonial theory, like let's go. Um, but I think that not everyone was as jazzed about that as me. Um, yeah, and then in the writing half, the first year of the program was just like craft classes, and then the second year of the program, we were paired up with an industry mentor to write as much of a book as we could in one semester. So, my first semester, I was with editor and Katie at Candlewick, and for Rue Grew Magic, I worked with the publisher of two books at the time, who's an imprint of Lee and Low. Um,
Mm.
so that was really valuable. It was really overwhelming because you had to basically write like two books in a year, which is not a speed that I like to work at. But it did pay off in the end. I got the project done.
Amazing.
Cool. I had like yeah, I've always just heard, right, of MFAs
Mm.
and they seem so awesome and it really does sound like yes, it is indeed really awesome and hard. I can only
Mm.
imagine. Oh my gosh.
I really
Yeah.
liked mine. Not everybody does. There's like I'm in like a an author group chat with like people who debuted the same year as me in middle grade, and there's like a whole like Discord channel that's like MFA woes. So like some people didn't have as good of an experience, but I really liked mine. I mean it's possible that I would have eventually gotten published another way, but like the way my path worked out, I wouldn't be here if I hadn't gone. So I'm
Mm.
really glad I did.
Yeah, I think it's really actually
Nice.
smart advice. Like networking in person, it really does make a difference because, and it's not even some like, oh, like you're my friend, so I'll just pick you. It's literally like, I think at a point, there's so many people polishing, trying, like whatever. And people are so slammed that, like, if they know your face and they already know your work ethic and you're showing up, like, you're kind of ticking a lot of boxes just by, like, showing up, showing who you are, being a good person, showing your passion for the industry and all of that. Like, it adds, like, kind of weight to your resume or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. And it's
Mm,
also just like, I don't know, it does kind of take work off the other person's plate. They don't have to like do a deep dive Google on you and
yeah.
like, you know, yeah.
That's so true. Okay, that's
Mm,
great, honestly. It's so true. Like just seeing a person or like, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're like, oh, I have this thing in mind of what I want to do. And you're like, I've seen their face today on social media. You're like,
yeah.
let me reach out to them or, so it's
Yeah.
just like,
Yeah.
it's all about that, like networking. It is really a lot of times who you know. And it is such a solitary business. We're just
Mm,
stuck at home a lot of the times. And so getting out there and meeting mentors, other writers, I think it's
mm,
it's so important. So you
Yeah.
have been in the business for a little while now. Has there been anything that your MFA program didn't prepare you for? Like, has there been something that has surprised you about the publishing industry?
mm.
Yes, I think I had like a very chaotic start. So as soon as I found out that my acquiring editor was making an offer, the HarperCollins Employee Union went on strike, which,
Ah,
solidarity.
yeah.
But it did delay my contract by like a really long time. I know that like everyone's contract takes a really long time, but I was like not prepared at the time for like 6 months of waiting, you know?
Mm.
Um,
Right. Yeah.
yeah, and then halfway through the work on Ru Grew Magic, my acquiring editor actually had to leave the imprint, and I got passed off to a different editor who finished out that book and my second book with me. So I knew that like in theory that could happen to people, but it was nonetheless very surprising when it happened to me.
Mm. Mm. Would you say
Yeah.
that was like the hardest part of your journey so far?
I don't know if that was the hardest part, but it was certainly like right out the gate, a surprise, like something that
Yeah,
I just hadn't. I kind of figured like, oh, something crazy is gonna happen to me at some point, but I didn't expect it to be like book one.
yeah.
Right out. We're exposing you
Yeah.
to all the hardships of publishing.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. What did you do during that time? I guess what can you do, right? Like you just kind of waiting
Yeah.
around,
I
crying.
worked. I wasn't crying. I was really happy to even have the deal in the works. I was
Mm.
one of my other good friends from Simmons was working at Harper at the time in their sales and marketing, and so I was texting her like, "What is the update? How is the union doing?" you
Mm.
know. But then otherwise, just trying to work on my next project. I also like have a day job, so that takes time.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah,
There you go. Keep
yeah,
you busy.
yeah,
Keep your brain busy.
yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, Melanie's touched on this a little bit, but what has been the hardest part of your journey so far?
Um, Man, hard to say what the hardest part is. I was better than I expected at writing a book on deadline. That was kind of a first for me. I think in some ways the sales and marketing, like promoting my books has been the hardest part.
Mm.
Um, which on the one hand kind of feels silly to me because like my day job is in marketing. So like in theory, I should be like so good at this. But in practice, it's just like a motivation challenge, when I'm like spending all day like designing a website or like sending email campaigns, then I like do not want to come home and do that again for myself.
Yeah.
Or just like social media is like such a it can be tough like when things are not good in the world. It's like not a good place to hang out. And so like finding the motivation to like, no, I've still got to go. I've still got to go like post my Instagram story about my cute
Mm.
book, even though there's like a war happening. Like that's been hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
that's very
honestly,
valid,
thank you for bringing
honestly.
that one up. I think a lot of us struggle with it, just like what it starts to feel like pointless to post about your thing when you get on and it's like, look at this new horror, look at it closely. Here it is from another angle dissected by this popular
Yeah.
influencer. And like it's so important that it winds up making you feel like, wait, maybe what I came to post wasn't important. But yeah, at the end of the day, like do you feel like you just like put your work hat on when you go to post stuff? Like how do you manage that feeling asking asking for a friend?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I probably don't do a great job of managing it. You can look at the dates on my posts and be like, "Oh, her book tour ended and she disappeared." But I have been like, now that the book is out, I've been trying to figure out like what's going to be like a sustainable schedule for me going forward. That like trying to get back into that like querying agents mentality, where it was like 5 agents a month. Like, what am I trying to like get to? what's a realistic goal that I can
Mm,
like bite off a chunk and do it.
mm,
Sustainable is such a good word to
Yeah.
use on that
yeah.
because it really is like a long what I don't know what running terms are. It's one of the what's whatever the long one is, that's what it is.
Marathon.
A marathon?
Yeah, that. It's not a sprint.
No.
It's a marathon.
That's my new
Sometimes you got to
favorite
run
quote.
fast.
Ah, glorious.
Whatever running stuff. You could tell it's not my forte. Okay, what has been the best thing about your journey so far?
The best thing is anytime I get to interact directly with my readers, because that's like
Mm,
another interesting thing about writing for kids is that like unlike YA or adult, you aren't like talking directly to your readers most of the time. You're talking to parents and grandparents and teachers and librarians because they're the ones who are a lot of times getting the books to the kids. So when I can do like a school visit and like actually talk to the kids about my books, like that's really fun. It's really rewarding when you can like tell that they liked it and they, care about my characters and they're asking who has a crush on who and like so talking with the kids has been really rewarding. And I've also been really lucky that a lot of the teachers that I had in like elementary and middle and high school have kind of popped back up and they're still teaching and they're like, "Hey, do you want
yeah.
to come talk to my class? I'm actually teaching your book." And I'm like, "This is amazing. Thanks, guys." Like so that's been really like heartwarming and there aren't like a ton of books about 8 to 12-year-olds from Louisiana. So I
Mm,
really like when the kids are like, yeah, I related to them. Like I see myself in the book kind of stuff. Like I got a review from a reader who found me on Facebook and messaged me and was like, I believe it was her grandson, like struggles with reading, but he loved your book so much that now we're starting like a family book club, and you made this Cajun kid really excited to read. And I was like, oh, it
oh,
just it gets your heart. It really does.
that is literally
That's
everything.
beautiful,
Yeah.
honestly.
Please tell us a little bit more about these amazing books.
Yes. So, Grandpare's Ghost Swamp came out in March, and it is a career day story. Basil, my protagonist, does not want to take over her family's restaurant in the French Quarter, but she doesn't know what she wants to do instead until her grandpare's ghost starts visiting her from beyond the grave and taking her on adventures out into the swamp, where she realizes that she really cares about the wetlands of Louisiana and maybe she wants to do something with that. Um, as a job maybe when she grows up, but also maybe right now. So that's Grandpare's Ghost
Mm,
Swamp. And then Rougarou Magic is about a Cajun kid from Louisiana who moves up to Boston, and she's having a tough time until her grandmother sends a Rougarou swamp monster to help her out. And they're both out wherever you want to get your books from.
I I feel like I need to read these myself,
same. I just
honestly.
was
Like
thinking.
they sound so good. Were you?
Yeah, I was just thinking I might need one of them as a comp title for something I'm writing. I'm like, I'm gonna have to order that and read that
Ooh.
because mysterious swamp with issues that we need to deal with, I'm all on board.
And I tell you, the perk of reading middle grade when you're an adult is that you can read them like that. 50,000 words. They're short.
Yes, ma'am. And I
You
am
know what?
realizing
That's
that that's
true.
why I love writing them as well. I am so
Oh,
far
yes.
with middle grade compared to anything else. But yeah.
Yeah, I just we're out on sub with a YA project right now and it's, like 10 or 15,000 words longer, but I was like, why is it so
Mm.
long? Like, what do you
Hmm.
mean it keeps going?
Yeah, literally.
The struggle is freaking real. The
Yeah.
struggle is real. I had to go down. I had my YA that I just wrote was like 110 at one point,
Oh my God.
and I had to get it down. I got it down somehow to like 98,000, and I was just like, "This is the worst thing I've ever done in my like. This is the dumbest idea I've had is to write this much words."
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's
Same.
like that's like both my books combined. So I'm impressed.
I'm always
No, I'm
impressed by
impressed
your
by
word
you.
count because I'm like, how do I get anywhere close to 100,000?
I
I
don't
hope
even
I never
know.
have to.
Yeah. Well, I see our time is like
Valid.
vanishing away. I really want to ask
Yeah.
you our favorite question, which is looking back at like your whole journey so far. Is there anything you wish you could tell a younger version of yourself?
Um, I think I would just like give her encouragement and, tell her obviously she got where she was going, right? So like
Mm.
you know what you need to know, you're gonna figure it out and you know, you can do it. You will do it. Me from the future.
Yes, period. You are
Mm.
going to do it. Okay, well,
Yeah.
quickly, what's next for you? We're on sub, but is there anything else in the work?
Yes. Well, we're deciding. Things go out into the world and you're like, "Oh, I gotta take a break." So I'm trying to figure out what I want my next writing project to be. Putting together some pitches for Larissa right now. So if you're listening, check your inbox in a while. But the
Yeah.
project on Sub, I'm excited about. I'm hopeful that someone picks it up. It's like a horror, dark academia, also with some Cajun folklore creatures, but this time we go full scary. So I hope that
Hell
it makes it out to the
yes.
world. Yeah.
Oh my
Mm.
God. I want to read everything you write. Everything sounds so good and so
Thank you.
interesting and so unique. Like we don't have enough books like this.
Yeah.
So thank you for writing the stories,
Thank
honestly.
you.
This is
From
cool.
your lips to the acquiring editor's ears.
Yes. Listen
Yes.
up, world. Yeah,
Just
honestly.
just
Fingers
talk about
crossed.
Thank
the
you. Thank
receding
you.
coastline because honestly, I'm about ready to
I
just like
do.
sit you down for coffee and just have a I'm not gonna lie, my brain hyperfixated hard. I'm still there.
It gets in there. It gets in there. It really does. I know. I'm kind of thinking like, should I just write another book about it? Like, is that
Yes.
the new project? Is it just another book about this? Because I still can't stop thinking about it.
I
Yeah,
think
for
Yeah.
everybody. All ears need to
absolutely.
hear this.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need it.
Yeah.
I need it because I just want to hear everything about it right now. And yeah, it's such obviously
Yeah.
such an important issue, but yeah, like I see our time has absolutely vanished away. I kind of want to ask this new question Angela's put on here in our last minute. In 20 years, when you look back at your amazing works, is there a legacy that you hope to have left behind? Is it the salvation of the swamp plants?
I mean, that would be amazing. I feel like that's like too big to even hope for. That's a bigger than just me legacy. But I think more realistically, I would hope that, my work is still reaching the kids of Louisiana. If people are still reading me in school, that would be like amazing.
Yes. We want to see your books in all the schools and
I
they will
love it.
be there. Yes.
Of the publishing persuasion, of the publishing persuasion.